Welcome back, watch people. Now, just a quick follow-up to the video that I did yesterday where I gave you, I think it was 8 examples of watches that I think are either good value for money, a great investment for the future, or a little bit of both. It was very interesting reading all the comments that you kindly left for me overnight, and you know, a lot of you feel that I miss watches out, particularly the Milgauss. The Milgauss got a hell of a shout from a number of viewers, and I understand why. The other watch that I left out of my list, and for reasons that I'll tell you in a second, was the Sky Dweller. Why didn't I mention the Sky Dweller? Well, look, first of all, I just got to make it clear, guys, I'm not trying to influence anyone. I've got no axe to grind, no money to earn or lose in what I'm saying to you right now. It's just my opinion for what that means. And by the way, guys, my opinion means absolutely nothing. It's your own opinion that counts. The Sky Dweller is a watch that has never actually got me overly excited. It's kind of a bit of a hybrid, isn't it, between a sports watch and a dress watch. That fluted bezel very much gives it a dress watch feel. The oyster bracelet and the functions give it a bit more of a sporty feel. I don't know, it's just like a bit neither here nor there for me, and I've never fell in love with its looks. I've never particularly fell in love with the way its functions work. Is it a future classic? Look, it's a relatively new model in Rolex history terms. It's still a new watch, isn't it? And we haven't had enough history, enough years. It's not proven enough yet over the years to tell what history is going to tell us about the Sky Dweller. For me, it's just not a watch that particularly rings my bell. But as I said, that's just my opinion for what that's worth. If you're wearing a Sky Dweller, if you love it, then great. You know, who's to say that my opinion's any more important than yours? It's absolutely not, as far as a watch enthusiast is concerned. One thing that does slightly concern me about the Sky Dweller is that in years to come, and don't forget, in my video, I did talk about a lot of these watches in years to come terms. Don't forget that if and eventually when the Sky Dweller goes wrong, because it is the most complicated production Rolex watch that they've ever made, I mean, it is going to be relatively expensive to fix. It's not going to be simple. It's probably a watch that's always going to go or have to go back to Rolex to be repaired. There are a lot of considerations, or there were a lot of considerations to be made when I looked through the Rolex website yesterday and decided which watches that I was going to choose. Again, for me, you know, I spoke heavily about how important the dial is on any watch, and that goes even right down to a regular sort of 36mm Rolex Datejust, maybe a historical Datejust. The more striking the dial is, the more sought after, the more desirable that watch will always be, because the dial is super important, in my opinion. Now, the Milgauss is a completely different kettle of fish, and I think the Milgauss deserves perhaps a little bit more of an explanation. Again, you know, look, I take great lessons from history. You know, you can read a lot about what's ahead by looking at what's past you over the shoulder. And the Milgauss, as I've said, it's never been an over-popular watch. It's a watch that is an acquired taste. It does have a fan base, and I understand why, but that fan base in Rolex terms is minute compared to other models within the brand. And I don't see the fact that that watch might be discontinued. I don't see that that's going to change its perception amongst the public. I mean, yes, amongst collectors it might become more desirable and more valuable, but I don't see it becoming a super sought after watch, even if Rolex discontinued it today. I don't suddenly see myself waking up tomorrow and seeing the prices of Milgauss doubled overnight. I just don't see that happening. And even if, you know, false market inflation says the price has gone up, I don't see the public falling for that, excuse me. And I don't see the public paying for it. The Milgauss is a difficult one. I could be wrong, you know, and like I said in the video yesterday, I don't want anyone rushing out to buy or sell watches on my say so. That's not what I'm all about. I'm just giving you my honest opinion, my humble opinion. I think if you look back at my historical videos from 2016, I think I did one in 2000, very early 2019. I can't remember now, but I've not done too bad so far. My predictions have been pretty good, pretty accurate. That can always change, of course. You know, we can always make a fool of ourselves and get something wrong. But I'm not worried about putting myself out there to be shot at. It is what it is. We can all make mistakes. We're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to have opinions, and ultimately, it's all a bit of fun, isn't it? That's why you watch my channel. That's why I watch other people's channels. You know, where are the prices of these watches going? What's the next hot watch, etc., etc. But September's a big date. You know, Rolex bring out their new models in September. What will happen to the old ones? Look, guys, the watches that I gave you yesterday, in my opinion, for one reason or another, are surefire long-term winners. But I'd be very, very surprised if I was wrong on any of them. As always, you know, you're welcome to tell me that you feel I'm wrong in the comment section below. I do try and read all the comments, guys. I genuinely do, even though I obviously don't have time to reply to them all. Finally today, any of you guys that have been watching my videos about getting involved in a new potential business with my son-in-law, etc., etc. Look, guys, it's moved forward really quick since I made those couple of videos, and some things have changed for the good. There's been some more ideas. There's been some interaction with some companies. Look, guys, I might have a stupendously exciting project coming up that I'd love you all to follow, and even if you're not into the boats, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy maybe following, hopefully, fingers crossed, what I've got in the pipeline. That's one for the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll speak to you again soon.